Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and welcome to some very dramatic lighting. If you've been around for a while, you know that I only shoot with natural lighting from this window, and because it's fall in the west coast of Vancouver Island, yeah. I've wanted to film all day, but it's been absolutely grey, and I decided just to do it. So I've been wanting to shoot this video for a while now, and having just recently returned from Fan Expo Vancouver, I figured this was a really good time to do it. And of course you've read the title, so you probably know I'm going to talk to you about some books that have something to do with fandom. I am absolutely terrible at ranking books, so these are just the books I happen to own and that I've read and that I love and have something to do with fandom. In fact, my ultimate goal is to share these 7 with you and then for you to tell me your favorite books about fandom down in the comments below. And then after I've had a little bit of time to read all of them, I want to do a part 2 of this in the new year. So if your favorite book isn't in this video, please let me know about it down below. In no particular order, the first book is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. In fact, these books are ordered by size from smallest to largest because I had to do it for the thumbnail. I knew nothing about this book when I purchased it, besides the cover is gorgeous, and I went, I will have that please. But I was delightfully surprised when it arrived and I started reading it because it not only features a bisexual main character, me! It also has to do with the fandom of a very strange podcast. Again, if you've been around for a while, I really like Welcome to Night Vale, and it turns out that Alice Oseman also does. So the podcast in here is not Welcome to Night Vale, it is something much smaller in production, but it plays a super big role in the protagonist's life, to the point where she makes fan art about it. In fact, the community loves her fan art so much that the creator of the podcast contacts her and asks, hey, do you want to do some art for the actual podcast? I don't want to go into too many specifics, but if you love podcasts, if you love fan art, you will like this book. There are also some other aspects of this I really enjoy, and I talked about it when I did a wrap-up of this book ages ago. If I figure out which wrap-up it is, I will link it somewhere. The next book on my stack is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. I originally read this for the Booktubeathon, and I read it on the first day, and I read it all in one day, and it made me cry a few times. It's so good. So the blurb on the front of this book is 3 friends, 2 love stories, 1 convention, and that sums it up pretty great. You're following 2 point-of-view characters, Charlie and Taylor, and they have come from Australia all the way to the States to go to basically what is a giant Comic-Con type of thing. And they're there because Charlie's promoting the film that she's just been in, whereas Taylor and their other friend Jamie are tagging along. While Charlie's off doing all the things she needs to do for production reasons, Taylor is there to meet her favorite author. So obviously Taylor is fangirling hard about this opportunity, and Charlie is fangirling hard about a fellow YouTuber who is quite adorable and she's always had a crush on, who she just happens to meet. There are so many different types of rep in this book that it just melted my heart. There's bisexuality rep, there's neurodiversity rep, there's anxiety rep, there's immigrant parents rep. Off the top of my head, I also think there's mixed race rep, but I might be misremembering, so don't quote me on that one. Altogether, it's cute, it's adorable, and I'll be doing a buddy read book review of it very shortly. Speaking of books that I'll be doing a buddy read book review with shortly, Geekerella by Ashley Poston. As you might guess from this title, this is a geeky retelling of Cinderella. In this you have 2 point-of-view characters as well, Elle, who is the Cinderella type character, obviously. And then you also have Darian, who is going to be playing the lead role in Elle's favorite TV show. See, she used to watch the show called Starfield with her dad and absolutely loved it. But now they're doing a movie remake and she is not really down with Darian playing the lead role. He's one of those dudes that seems to be more popular for his abs than anything else, and she does not see him with the acting chops of someone who can play the commander. You know, little does she or the world know that he is also a huge Starfield fan. Again, cute, adorable, like the other 2 books, has some queer rep, so look forward to me talking about that book on another channel very soon. The next book that I picked up quite recently and absolutely adore is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This has an interesting take in fandom in that the main character is the creator of the fandom in question. Eliza creates a webcomic called Monstrous Sea, and it gets millions of views. Her family is full of athletes and they just don't get it. She publishes this anonymously and there's just a couple of her online friends that know her identity. In her last year of high school, she runs into a new student who happens to be a Monstrous Sea fan, and this is the first one she's ever found in the wild because she doesn't really go out much. She's got comics to draw. So she's stuck in this weird place of should I tell him and wanting to keep her anonymity. There's also points throughout the book where you see sketches of her characters from the webcomic, and it's just great. You get enough of the intricate plot line of that story to kind of understand whenever anyone's making reference to it. And even though this is her life's work, it becomes a giant pressure on her. She's graduating soon. Is she going to be able to do this for the rest of her life? What is next in store for her? And that's about all I can say without going into some spoilers that I really don't want to go into. The next book on this list should be a staple in any fandom-related book list, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I think I was a little late to this game. I only picked this book up last year and read it pretty much in a day while I was on a books and beer tour with my mom. It's been a little while since I read this, so I think I'm going to get all these details correct, but let's see. Kath, our protagonist, is a fanfiction writer, and she writes fanfiction for basically the Harry Potter of this world. It's not Harry Potter, but it's a magic-based book series where the last book is going to come out soon. And she's an incredibly popular fanfiction writer. She's got thousands of words on this subject, but she wants to have her fanfiction done by the time the final book comes out. That being said, she's a twin, and her twin are going off to university at this point. And they've always been so close, but now they're living in 2 separate dorm rooms. So Kath has some separation anxiety there. This is also the point in her life where Levi comes in, a very cute romantic interest. This book deals a lot with the validity of fanfiction writing, and even though you're borrowing other characters, you are creating a new piece of art. And then, of course, if you love this, you can always go on to reading Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, which is basically her fanfiction, and it's freaking adorable, and I read it over a weekend when I was at a convention in Seattle, so yes. The penultimate book in this stack might surprise some of you until you think about it a little harder, and that's The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Now, I know when we think about this book, we think about the protagonist who has cancer, and a love story between 2 people who have had cancer, and of course the movie that came out. But at the heart of it, this is about fandom. I mean, to be fair, things can be about several different things, and one of them for this book definitely is fandom. Our protagonist, Hazel Grace, is forced into going to this group therapy type thing where she meets a cute boy. He is there for his friend Isaac, who is soon going to be completely blind because of his type of cancer, but Gus himself, the cute boy, is in remission. Impulsively, Hazel takes his invitation to come back to his place to watch a movie. They end up talking about books, and she ends up telling him about the book that she is completely obsessed with. If that fandom moment hadn't happened, none of the rest of the book would have. It was because of that moment of opening herself up and letting another human know about her intense fandom for this book that he read it, and literally everything else that happened in the book happened. It makes complete sense to me that this particular John Green book would be on this list. And the final fandom book that I want to talk about that I pulled off my shelves today is You're Never Weird on the Internet Almost by Felicia Day. Obviously, unlike the others, this one is a non-fiction book, and it is a memoir. That being said, Felicia Day has been called Queen of the Geeks so many times. Throughout her book, she talks about so many different types of fandoms, so many fandoms she's been interested in, and different times throughout her life where fandom has made an impact on her. As a side note, while I was waiting for this book to come out, I was at VidCon for the very first time, and I was wearing my Codex cosplay. And Hank Green thanked me for wearing cosplay at his convention and asked if he could take a picture of me to send to Felicia via text message, which of course I said yes to. So if you're interested in the intersection of fandom and the internet, this is definitely a book that you should check out if you haven't already. And while I'm here, I might as well also make a music recommendation for you, because I'm wearing their t-shirt right now and it makes me very happy. I don't have a viewfinder on this potato of a camera, so I have no idea how much of this t-shirt you can see, but it says, "There are no fake geeks, only real jerks," and this is a t-shirt from the Double Clicks. I will link their YouTube channel down below. They're a sister duo from Portland, and they make deliciously nerdy content. A lot of it about fandoms. And there you have it. Like I said near the beginning of the video, I would really like it if you would let me know your favorite fandom-based books down in the comments below. If I get enough of a list of them, I will search them out, I will read them, and I will make a second video like this in the future. If you've read any of these and you have feels about them, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you next time. Bye!